interest on car loans fully tax deductible. That's a big deal. You know, they said one of the top guys on Wall Street called up and he said, you know, we have an incredible situation here. Where did you come up with that? It's like the paperclip. I said it the other day. Like 125 years ago, some guy took some steel and he bent it around a little bit. He came up with a paperclip. And other people looked at it. He made a lot of money, very rich man. And they said, why the hell didn't we think of it? You know, the one having to do with the deductibility of car loans. So simple. And the top guys on Wall Street, real geniuses, they called up, they said, how did you think of that? It's so simple. But, you know, to have the American dream, you want to have a car. And this will make, and I think this is going to be fantastic for Detroit and South Carolina and Tennessee and all of the areas that produce cars. One thing I have to say also, we have in Mexico, and I've been talking about it for the last year and a half, China is getting ready to build massive car plants, massive, which would wipe out Michigan, would hurt you, but would wipe out Michigan, Detroit would be gone, and they're the biggest plants in the world. I have a friend that does that. He builds plants. He doesn't do anything else. All he wants to do is build plants. And I called him up a year ago, a little more than that. I said, I want to see a plant. I want to go see a plant. You think Biden calls people up and says, I'd like to see a plant? I don't think so. He wants to just go. He wants to go to sleep. And she wants to do other things. We don't know what they are. We'll find out, unfortunately. No, but I said, I want to see a plant. He said, well, I can't really take you to the U.S. because we're not building the good ones. But the big ones are being built in Mexico. I said, what do you mean Mexico? They're being built by China. And they're the biggest in the world, actually. One plant will be doing more than all of Michigan. So I said, this is not good. And then they think they're going to take the cars, build them, and sell them over to the United States or go around a little horn and sell them to the United States and destroy our automobile. And it would destroy. So I said, I've had it. And I started talking about tariffs. We're going to put massive tariffs on these companies that are coming in and destroying our jobs and our companies. And so I went very public with it for the last 4 months about tariffs. I love tariffs. I love tariffs, what they can do for your income and protection, and even third-party things you can do just by the threat of tariffs. Because we're the pot of gold. We won't be the pot of gold long if we don't do something. So I was making a speech the other day in Detroit at the Economic Club, which is a great place, beautiful, and talking about cars. And I saw the man that is the great car factory builder who I know, John. I won't give it his full name, but John. And I saw him, and I said, could I see you after the speech? I made the speech. I went to see him. I said, how are those plants coming, the big ones in China? They said, sir, they just canceled them because they think you're going to get elected, and they don't want to build them because they won't be able to pay tariffs. We just canceled them. I didn't even do anything. And I just saved Detroit. I just saved every car-making state. No, but think of it. And I thought to myself, just the threat of tariffs, they canceled these multi-billion-dollar auto factories. Auto machines is what they really are. Now, will I get credit for that? I don't think so, but we know. But he just said, because of you, they think you're going to get elected. They think you're going to charge tariffs that are so much that it won't be possible for them to survive. And China just canceled those big, beautiful factories that would have destroyed our country in terms of automaking. And, I think it's great. And now people are starting to see it. They're saying that was a pretty good thing to do. I didn't even do anything. Just the mere threat of that beautiful word kept what we have. Don't forget, a lot of it's been taken over 50, 60 years. We were the greatest powerhouse. We will have that back soon. I think we can compete with it. We will have that back soon. We're going to have so many auto plants and so many steel plants built in this country now. So simple, too. It's so simple. And I've been talking about this for the last couple of months, and people are starting to understand it. They're starting to understand it. And China does it. They've been doing it for a long time. They say, we don't want your cars. If you want to build a car, you build it in our country. They did it with Harley Davidson in India. they charge a 200% tariff on a motorcycle. They said, if you want to do this, you have to build it. We don't want your motorcycles. We're going to charge you 200. Harley Davidson said, we don't sell any in India. Tariffs too high. So what are you going to do? They said, we've got to build a plant over there, sir. We're the only one that doesn't do it because we're ruled by corrupt and stupid politicians, but we're doing it now.